Story 1. I got drunk once and proceeded to get lost on the way home, ending up cycling on some highway. For 2 years, I wondered where the hell I had been until I saw Google's location history for that night. Story 2. Okay, I have a weird but serious question. My husband passed away last year. I still have his Samsung Galaxy S7. I'm also 99% sure I have his Google account information, but if not, I'm sure the password is saved in his phone. If this phone really does record voices, how would I go about downloading his Google data? I just want to hear his voice again. I'm starting to tear up as I type this, but seriously, I only have one voicemail from him on my phone and maybe a couple of videos. Anything more I can get of his voice, pictures of him I haven't been able to restore, anything I can get I want. I miss him so much. Story 3. If you use Google Photos and allow Maps to track your location. I took photos that I didn't like and deleted them. Weeks later, I was just browsing my timeline in Google Maps, and those deleted photos were there, tagged to the location. Nothing incriminating, just thought you should know that a delete isn't a delete. Edit. A lot of people aren't reading this properly, so let me clarify. I didn't say I found my photos on Google Photos Cloud after deleting them on my phone. I found my cloud-deleted photos on Google Maps timeline. And please spare me the guess what Google still has it paranoid comments. I know they still have it, and I don't care. I am merely answering the original poster's question. Story 4. Apparently, I sleepwalk thousands of kilometers and then manage to get back home in time for work. Also, a bunch of recordings of my computer's fan spinning. But well, at least they got me on the fetish porn searches. Google. Hyped up Google. Incompetent Google. I know my data is in good hands. Edit, found a fart. Story 5, mine is 10 gigabytes. This is going to take a while to download. It is an old account, but I have all activity paused except YouTube watch history. I'm really interested to see why it's so large. Story 6. I did this a while back, and it's basically nothing. Only a few gigabytes worth of GPS data and some voice recordings from when I had my Galaxy S3 and wanted to try Google Assistant when it came out. I did get a good chuckle out of half my voice recordings being, "Okay, Google, go fuck yourself," in my squeaky younger voice. Story 7. I don't understand how Google is recording secret conversations that can be stored and viewed. I thought this was exclusive to Google voice searches and commands, which are approved by the user in settings. How are these candid conversations being recorded and stored, and how can you view them? Story 8. It wasn't Google data that shocked me. I kind of expected it to know everything about me. This came from Instagram. My period was very late, so naturally, I told my husband in our very private and quiet home setting and bought a Clearblue pregnancy test. We don't own a TV, Amazon Alexa, Google Voice, or similar devices. I just have Reddit and Instagram on my smartphone. My period was just late, but the very next day I got bombarded by ads on Instagram about Clearblue and other pregnancy tests and some other baby-related products. There is no way that it was a coincidence since it was the second time getting a very, very specific ad. So the app is listening and showing me ads accordingly. Edit. Autocorrect. Update. I was telling my husband today about this thread and my comment, and guess what ad I got again on Instagram? I checked and the app had access to the microphone. I think every time you want to post, it activates the mic access. Edit 3. Since many people asked, I bought it with cash. No cards of any sort involved. Story 9. Recordings of conversations with my boss over 2 years. I don't know why it only had recordings of us talking and no one else. Story 10. Original poster just got hundreds of people downloading their Google data. Edit. Went from a couple hundred to hopefully tens of thousands. Story 11. All phone activity, opened app, closed app, etc. From the very first day I owned my phone, constant check of my global positioning system, constant check of my device orientation. If someone steals your Google account, they basically can find out everything there is to know about you. Story 12. The most unsettling experience I had came from Facebook, not Google. A minor bit of background. I'm a straight guy with a lot of LGBT friends and was actively involved in supporting the Australian same-sex marriage campaign. So Facebook probably had me flagged as gay at the start of 2012. In 2012, I started dating someone. We had been friends for some time. I'm on Facebook all the time. She had an account but almost never used it. We basically never communicated on Facebook. Immediately, Facebook started telling me to mark her as a close friend, and all of its ads changed from gay singles cruise and similar to romantic getaways for couples. I can only assume that it was able to tell from GPS that she spent a night at my place and that I spent one at hers a few days later. Edit. A few guesses that Wi-Fi was involved. At the time, I didn't have Wi-Fi at my place, and while she did, I never connected to it. It was 2012, and I had a 2 GB mobile data limit for the month, which felt like so much that I couldn't imagine needing more. Story 13. I have downloaded my data from Facebook, and the most shocking one was a recorded phone conversation of about 30 minutes long. It was dated back around 5 to 7 years ago, and most surprisingly, it was not even me who was speaking, and I could not even recognize who it was. Edit. As many people ask about how to download your Facebook data, I add here the comment, Facebook settings, your Facebook information, access your information, download. Story 14. Audio recording titles are generic and serialized, so make sure to take some precautions before listening to them in front of your significant other, family, or strangers. Please don't make my mistake. Hey Google, how do I increase my penis size? Girlfriend staring at me. Story 15. My purchase history on websites like eBay, Amazon, and other companies that I guess all sell their data about me to Google. I had no idea of it, and although I share things like my location with Google, seeing my purchases is kind of scary because I never allowed it. Story 16. So many drunken audios. Like, not even meant for the phone, just background talking while most of the time very drunk. It was half unsettling, half fun to listen to them. Apparently, when you press the microphone on the keyboard, I think it's for changing audio to text. It gets sent to Google. And apparently, my drunken self is very prone to misclick it. Story 17. It's not the most unsettling, but I didn't know until recently that Google tracks all purchases you make. And I don't mean purchases just from Google or using Google Pay, but everything. If you get an email receipt from any store or service, then it's added to the log. I don't know if they scan other Google services, but it wouldn't surprise me. My list of purchases went back over 10 years. You can view yours by visiting your Google account purchases page. Story 18. Nice. It appears that I deactivated the whole voice feature when I first got my phone. It was paused when I opened the settings, and there was no activity for me to review. I have now deactivated personalized ads, and that's it. The two things Google is allowed to track are my YouTube view and search history. Story 19. I'm doing it right now. Probably going to update this chat when I get my results. I'm scared. Edit 1. The first thing that pops up are old Counter-Strike. Global offensive clips of me being cringeworthy while playing Dust 2 casual a couple of years ago. Edit 2. I'm finding Minecraft videos and old Blender intros I made. Going to keep you guys updated. Edit 3. Found the recordings. Nothing really interesting, but I also found the first profile banner and logo I've ever used for YouTube. I also found the first thing I ever did in Photoshop. The last thing is that I found older videos. The best one was me splashing water in my brother's face because of a trending prank. Make sure you do this on a PC because it's easier. Oh my god. Thank you guys for the upvotes. Story 20. My account is over 14 years old. I wonder how long the archive process will take. Thanks to the original poster. Edit 24 hours in, it still hasn't finished building the archive. Says it could take days. Story 21. I just found out Google data was a thing today and checked mine earlier. What are the odds I see this post right now? X-Files theme plays in background. Story 22. Google knows every location I have been to for the last couple of months. They stored multiple audio files of me talking to colleagues and friends, and worst of all, I did not know they were doing that. My mind is blown and I am terrified. My private information is no one's business. Google. Also, thanks for spreading awareness. Original poster, have some poor man's gold. Story 23. Okay, with permission of my husband, Here are some of his that made me almost choke from laughing so hard. July 30th, 2019 said, "Is my wife gay?" June 8th, 2019 said, "Show me images of hot dogs sitting in a pot." April 18th, 2019 said, "How much money can I make from donating my testicles? And can I sell my testicles?" March 12th, 2019 said, "Show me a teddy under the skin. And show me images of what a breast looks like underneath the skin." January 2nd, 2019 said, "What is the average price for a hip replacement in Mexico?" December 26th, 2018 said, "How big are hamster decks?" December 13th, 2018 at 5:42 p.m. said, "Show me places I can buy chicken salad near me." Then at 5:46 p.m. said, "Do Syrian hamsters masturbate?" Then at 5:47 p.m. said, "Order me a chicken salad now." December 11th, 2018 said, "Do Syrian hamsters masturbate?" December 7th, 2018 said, "Where's a good place to go see Christmas lights? Can you help a brother out?" November 26th, 2018 said, "Can hamsters go in water?" November 5th, 2018 said, "Show me the Alexa product." And how do you say, "I'm your big black daddy" in Spanish? And how do you say, "I am your black father" in Spanish? September 28th, 2018 said, "Forget you, soap." September 8th, 2018 said, "Show me large flaccid penises." I shouted this out while he was trying to search for something else, but it picked up what I said instead. July 3rd, 2018 said, "Boogers and boogers, I like to eat my boogers, masturbating while eating my boogers." Story 24. I downloaded the Facebook data, and they store every single call's date, length, and the phone number of the other side that I made in the past. If something is free, you are the product. Read on Reddit. Story 25. Whenever I played back in OK Google, there was some sound before I said, "OK Google recorded." It's kind of creepy, and I hope the operation of data is all offline until an OK Google is detected. Story 26. I was actually surprised by how small the amount of information they had aside from the obvious. I have disabled everything that you can possibly think of. But yeah, that was a few years ago. I don't know now. Story 27. Random voice clips appeared when I hadn't activated Google Assistant. The one that felt the weirdest was a random clip from when I was babysitting and reprimanding a child for misbehaving. Very unsettling. Story 28. I emailed it to myself and still haven't received it, but I think it was a large file. Update: 36 gigabytes in total. If I don't find some gossip on myself, this is a waste. Story 29. Guys, please do a good search of your Google preferences and disable everything you don't like. My phone is, as far as I'm aware, mine because the settings are very restrictive. Also, forget Facebook. Why do people put up with this? Story 30. Well, I've paused YouTube search history, watch history, as well as location tracking and audio tracking. If there's any of that in my download, I'm gonna be mad. Be right back while I try it. Story 31. All it has shown me is that I spend way too much time on Reddit, so I guess nothing new. Way less pornography than I was expecting as well. Edit. Okay, there is a lot of pornography. Story 32. Voice recordings of little 14-year-old me asking to be woken up in 20 minutes. Or entire audio streams of family dinners because somebody may or may not have mentioned something that may or may not have sounded anything like, "Okay, Google." I've stopped using voice assistants since. Story 33. The most unsettling experience came from Facebook, which I uninstalled and deleted my account right after that. I'll keep it short. My friend's father abandoned him and his mother when he was about 7, and the father never reached out. 2 years ago, he had a tough day, and we talked about his father and how life would be different if he had not left them. That same night, I was scrolling through Facebook, and a much older man who looked very similar to my friend showed up as a suggested friend. I immediately took a screenshot and showed it to him. It was indeed his father, whom he had never talked to for about 18 years. My friend had never created a Facebook account, nor used other social media platforms. So we talked strictly through Steam. How did they suggest that to me? I did not even know or have anybody with common friends, and it literally popped up the same night after a heart-to-heart conversation. Story 34. They had tracked literally everywhere I had been since 2015. They knew every store I'd visited, what date and what time. Every restaurant, every hair salon, every nightclub, every plant nursery, you name it, they stored it. Google had it all. All innocently stored under the title Google Timeline. Story 35. When I discovered Google Maps timeline feature, it was cool at first, flicking through years of location data, looking at when I had been on trips, being amazed at how it had guessed what attractions I had visited and how I had got there. Then a few weeks later, it dawned on me. Through that little rectangle of glass and plastic in my pocket, Google knows where I am every minute of the day. It knows where I live, where I work, what route I take between the two, what times I'm likely to leave and arrive, what my favorite places to visit are, and where and when I like to shop. What do I get out of this? It saves me 5 seconds when searching by suggesting places I've visited before. But if someone wanted to ruin my life and got a hold of some of that data, they could seriously harm me. No thanks. Story 36. So I went to check, out of curiosity. They have an option to break the archive into chunks of 2 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes, etc. So I chose 4 gigabytes. Figured, how bad can it be? This is the response I got. An archive of 44 products is currently being prepared. Please note that archives may take a long time, hours or possibly days, to create. You will receive an email when your archive is complete.